Welcome to Source BMX. I'm Van Homan. Today I'm here in Hastings, England with the Volume Demolition Team Manager, ramp building extraordinaire, and one of the most stylish bowl riders in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Watts. All right, Jason, so you've got your own Volume signature line of products called the Smoko. Let's start with the frame. Obviously, you're a bowl rider, you ride fast, you want something stable. This thing, you've got a 21-inch top tube, you've got a 74.5 head tube, and most notably, this rear end is kind of like a limousine. It goes from, what,
13.8 up to like 14.2 or 14.3.
We're getting into the 14 range.
Yeah, and then has 11.4 bottom bracket, so nice and low. So no crooked grinds on this thing, you'll come off.
So this thing's built for the parks?
Yeah, pretty much. Bowls, trails, street with 2 pegs, but that's about it.
Yeah, so what does this kind of like bigger, longer, more mellow geometry allow for?
Like you said, it's a bit more stable. I like the low bottom bracket. It's just a bit closer to the ground, a bit more stable when you're going faster, hitting bigger transitions and stuff. So I know it feels good. So I tweak it here and there with dimensions, but this is what I've come to. I like it.
I like it. It's an interesting change from a lot of the, we do a lot of like more technical street riders, and obviously the geometry is very different.
Yeah, yeah. We got like I said, the raked out front end, raked out back end, and then just sitting low to the ground. So keeps it nice. It keeps it real stable. So especially Chris's frame is very similar as well, and how fast he rides, like it definitely helps.
Yeah. So like what went into the thought process when designing this frame?
I sort of had a bit of help from previous frames I've rode, and then I just like the low bottom bracket, so the lower I could get that. I could probably go lower again, but at the moment I think it's good where it is at the moment, so stoked.
Perfect. Built for speed. All right, so what about, you've got, again, your own signature Volume Smoko handlebars and Smoko forks. What went into the design process of these? What was important to you? And how do they kind of collaborate all as one with the frame, fork, and bars?
The bars are pretty simple, not too much like back sweep, just straight out solid bars. I think I'm only riding at 925 with the front load stem. And then just the forks are just 28 mil. Just right in the middle, not too long, not too short, so just in case we do go ride, pools or something, it's not super raked out. But I know it just all works well together. It's just like simple, nothing, no crazy geometries or anything, just keeping it simple at the front end.
Okay, so like you said, the 28 millimeter offset on the forks, pretty raked out, pretty mellow, built for speed, but also, like you mentioned, not as mellow as some forks I've seen, like the 32 millimeters. Yeah. And you brought up a good point. Like a lot of times when you're riding a pool, you're going fast, you're roasting, but it's pretty tight transitions.
Yeah, that's it. So like pools or even, real tight quarters that, we like to ride. So I think even though the head tube's mellowed out on the frame, I think the forks, the 28 mil forks, helps out, bring it back a tiny bit so it's not so limousined out. Or you could, like you said, put 32 mil forks on, it'd be like a bobsled. Yeah. But you'd go through any set of dirt jumps chilling then.
Okay, and the bars, you said you're riding 9.25 rise. Are these available in any other sizes, or is this a true signature product?
No, they're all, I think that's 9, 9.25, and 9.5, so okay. All across the board. So
you choose to go right in the middle. How tall are you?
I think I'm 5'8", 173 centimeters, so okay. Around that, so not very tall.
You did the conversion. I'm impressed.
I convert it. I go do conversions on the ramp building all the time. So
this is worldwide, so he's catering to everyone.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. What about the stem here? It looks like you've got a front load stem, demolition. What's the deal with this, and why do you choose a front load over a top load?
I don't think I've ever gone to a top load, always front load my whole life. I like the way it looks and I like the way it feels, which is funny because I can ride other people's bikes with a top load and I like it, but if I put a top load on, I can't do it. So it's all front load, and it's just Chris's old demolition stem that I've been running for years. So
okay, so this is a Chris Fox signature stem?
Yeah, it was back a good couple of years ago now. Chris runs a top load now, so it's pretty funny that I just keep rocking this. I love it. So yeah, I don't know. I just like the look of it. A bike with a front load stem. I think it's almost like a little old school in a way. There's not many people that ride the front load these days, but I love it. So it's good.
All right, Jason. So you've got the Demolition Revolt cranks, and you've also got the Demolition Fast and Loose collaboration sprocket. What size cranks are you running? What size sprocket? Why do you choose this setup?
Running ones, they're 19 mil cranks, 170 mil long, and with a 28 tooth sprocket. Usually I run a 30, but this is just the one I had at home at the time, so I'll just have that rocker that one at the moment. But and then for cranks, as long as they're 170 and 175, it doesn't really bother me. Obviously, I'm goofy footed, so my pegs are right on my back foot, so the 170s, even though I've got the real long back end, the 170s definitely feel good because I've definitely jarred my heel a couple of times on that back peg. But I don't know, pretty simple across the board with the setup, so I don't put too much thought into that.
No, that makes sense though. You want a little bit shorter cranks, keep your foot away from the peg, and you definitely like an up gear. I assume that's so you can go faster.
Yeah, and like obviously the low bottom bracket on the frame, the cranks being shorter is good because if you're pedaling around a corner, then your pedals won't clip because this can almost stand up.
Right.
Like, without any stand. So.
That'll be something you need this weekend, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
And what about the sprocket? Obviously, you're in really deep with the Fast and Loose crew, and what went into the collaboration of this sprocket with Demolition?
It was back when Matt was doing Demolition stuff with us, and he wanted like an old school like moto looking sprocket.
Okay.
And he thought of that, and it turned out really cool. So just like, the holes in like an old disc on like an old Harley or something like that. So we just had that, and it was just like a nice simple design, and it turned out sick. So just got to hopefully make a bigger one soon.
Yeah.
We can get up to that 30, 35s.
Right. Get on it. You're the TM.
That's
Make it happen.
Yeah. I'm making it happen.
All right, what about the pedals? The Demolition plastic pedals here, do these have any kind of special name, any special features?
I think they're just called, what are they? The Trooper pedals. I think they're steel pedals. I can't remember, to be honest. But they're just the plastic pedals. I don't know. I ran steel for a little while and lost too much skin on my legs. So I'm back on plastics for a little bit. But I don't know, just they're good, solid as, they're hard to break. So I definitely snapped a few pedals in my time. So no, I haven't done these ones yet. So.
Okay, you've got the Demolition, Mike Hucker, Hammerhead tires. What size do you run in? What do you like about this tread? What PSI do you run?
They're good at 2.4s, both front and back. They're nice and fast, like a good fast rolling tire, but also has a bunch of grip for trails. So you sort of take it all over, and they last, they last a fair while before they all get grinded out. And I run anywhere between like 70 to 80 PSI usually. So not super heavy PSI, but definitely helps me when as flat as I land, it helps with the lower PSI. Keeps the body in check.
Well, it's funny that you say it's a lower PSI because for a park rider, a bowl rider like yourself, you're going to run a lot more pressure than the street rider. So I feel like 70, 80 is a lot higher than what we hear from the street riders.
Yeah, that's it. But it's definitely not as high. I think Chris runs 100.
Yeah.
Like Tom Russell in the park, he runs 120 in his tires.
Wow.
They're insane. So when they go bang, it's definitely loud. But I don't know why. I've always kept it around that 70 to 80 PSI. It's been, I don't know, I sort of just like stroll through the bowl on that speed. That's what I like. I'll pump them up if I go do something faster, but other than that, that's where it stays because, like I said, landing flat or casing with 100 PSI is a lot more painful than 80 PSI. And 60 PSI would be better, but that's when they start folding on me.
All right, Jason, so you're riding the Demolition Zero wheels. I'm assuming these things come stock like this right out of the box, so you don't have to worry about building up your wheels, nothing custom, everything you need straight away.
Yeah, they do. They come straight out the box exactly like this, and I've always just put them on and, after a month or two, just give it a little bit of tighten, and they last. Like this back one's going on maybe 2 years old, hence the spoke twisted around it. Yeah. My bike maintenance isn't the best.
But not bad for 2 years.
Yeah, not bad for 2 years, so I'll probably retire that one after this trip, but yeah, they're good. I just, get it straight out the box, and they're good to go, put them on and roll fast. Solid rim, haven't really seen too many people blow out these rims or wheels, so it's good. It's relaxing to be able to just, like I said, pull out of the box and go to town on it. Yeah,
and obviously a cassette hub?
Yeah, left-hand drive cassette. I ran a coaster for like 4 or 5 years. And then,
really?
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. I think right at COVID I got home and I was like, I'll just put a cassette back on for a little bit.
I'm surprised to hear you ride a coaster because I wouldn't expect you to go backwards too often.
Yeah, it wasn't. When I had the coaster on, I was doing it all the time, but then I sort of caught myself just going backwards too much than going forwards. So I was like, I'm taking it off for a little break, and it just hasn't gone back on.
So the free coaster made you kind of soft?
Yeah, a little bit, nah. But the thing is, free coaster, I could have fun on flat ground. I could have fun anywhere. That was good. But I just got over So cassette's back on for a while now, so, and I like it. And then the front, like I said, front wheel's easy as. Both come with, the wheels come with hub guards as well, so solid, straight
What
up.
about these fuck you Fids valve caps going on in here?
It's just so when I'm riding, the boys know that they can fuck you Fids. Nah, I like it. It does remind me of Fids a little bit, you know, both middle fingers up in the air, so makes me laugh every time I look at it.
Yeah.
Especially when I get a flat and I go take it off and I'm going like this to my wheel.
We have the Demolition Battle of Axes.
Yeah, the axis seat.
The Axes.
I think it's just
Axis.
on the stock stand.
It's either the Axis or the Axes.
I'm not sure.
But either way, it's got a really cool logo with some battle axes here, so I'm going to go with Axes.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a more slim, kind of race style inspired seat.
Yeah, I like the color, so I just grabbed it and was just like, I'm riding this. I actually have a signature seat, I just don't ride it. But I don't know, I like it, so.
So how important is like the seat size and the seat height for you?
I have to run it really slam because every time I do look backs, my knee would go under the seat and get stuck.
Okay.
So I try and have it as slammed as possible. Otherwise, I'd probably have it a little bit higher. But
So it seems like you like to keep it slim, slammed, and out of the way.
yeah, pretty much. But I also like the bike to sort of be a little heavy and, you know, let it do the riding half the time when I'm just relaxing.
All right, Jason, something I appreciate personally is a lot of people have plastic pegs these days. You're still rocking the metal pegs. You only got them on one side of the bike. This is a pretty classic, traditional setup for a mid-school rider. Why?
I love it. The steel pegs, they like, I don't know. They got plastics on for like a couple months. I was like, this doesn't feel or sound the same. So obviously you're not really grinding too many ledges or rails out there, but when you're on like pool coping or even just normal coping, the sound is too good with steel pegs. So big steel pegs and, you know, they last for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in a park, there's nothing better than the feeling or the sound of the metal coping on metal pegs.
I think there's nothing better than like an ice grind on a quarter.
Yeah.
I think chasing all that would back it up, but like just a nice ice grind on the steel quarter, like steel coping quarter, is probably one of my favorite things to do for sure.
Absolutely.
And, you know, even like downside ice chinks and stuff with steel pegs is
So much more satisfying.
yeah, satisfying.
Huh?
I like to hear
Yeah.
this dong, you get this like.
So what kind of pegs are these?
These I think they're just Odyssey pegs that I grabbed from the shop the other day.
Okay.
4.25 inch, I think they are.
Okay.
But I just need some pegs and.
So not too long. You don't need that extra length for the crooked grinds.
Nah, no crooked. Everything is only duster grind. But yeah, I just my bike's actually pretty heavy, so I have to throw my pegs out every time I fly because that's the only thing that's overweight. So I have to get new pegs.
Your
every
bag goes overweight if you
Yeah.
have the steel pegs.
Yeah, so I literally dropped 4 or 5 or 6 of them at airport bins in the last 6 months. So that's why they keep changing colour too, because I'm like, has anybody got any pegs? And sometimes I'll get those old stock pegs on there, but nah.
All right, Jason, thank you for sharing your volume demolition build with us, your signature Smoko line. Good luck in the Battle of Hastings this weekend. Everyone, make sure to check out the Source Bike Builder. There you can see specs, pricing, and availability for everything Jason is riding. SourceBMX.com.
Beauty. Thanks, mate.